So how do we get it into the user of AV media person is really the idea, so that we don't really have to see or get anywhere close to any church information, and depending on who the volunteers are and all of that stuff.
Okay. So was this logged into her
Yes.
Microsoft account?
Yes, I believe so. And so we created a new user, AV resource or something or other.
Okay.
And we want to use that avenue, and yet when we do, any of the VMix settings and materials
Well, yeah, because
are gone.
yeah, because what you did was you created a new
Yeah, AV booth.
yeah, you created a new user,
Right.
which okay, network administrator.
Or is there a better way to go about it?
Well, I mean, the only thing what we can do is we can change the original. See, because these are add-ons, which means that you really got to change it at her level rather than adding. You know what I mean?
I see.
So that's got to be changed at her level, because that when we set this up, nobody had a clue as to how it was going to work or anything else,
and
I'm
who was
like,
going to be here,
I
and whatever.
need,
right.
I need a name,
something,
give me somebody,
Right.
and so they gave me that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's how it got all set up. So basically, when you go into here, and you get to this has got to be changed here at this. So, however, everything is within the church. I mean, nothing left
Right.
the church. So, but yeah. So we're going to have to. Does the church have a Microsoft account?
I do not know.
Okay.
But here's the man who may
Oh my.
know that.
What might I know?
Does
How are
the
you?
church have a Microsoft account? To the best of your knowledge.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But there's a reason we're using Chris's and not the church one, and I'm not sure why.
Okay.
I think it's effectively just because it needed to be linked to an email that somebody actually has and checks and things like something along those lines.
Okay. Well, here's our dilemma.
Yeah.
Is that they set up an AV booth account, and but the problem is when they go and they sign in with this AV booth, it has nothing on the desktop.
The problem is that's a Dan question.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
no. When you
Right.
what has to happen is it's got to change. It's got to change at this level
Yes.
in order to keep all the desktop stuff in place.
Yes, and what I'm saying is that's a question for our IT guy, Dan
There you go.
Bergsma, who's coming in.
All right,
so
cool. Wait,
he's going to be
nice.
here in maybe half an hour. He
Half
said
an
he
hour.
was-
He's 45 minutes late
yeah,
or so.
but he's
Okay.
the one that set up this desktop and with Chris, and
Beautiful.
so he's got all that access. That's a Dan question.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are now going to start from scratch. So
All right.
let me get out of here. Oh, you brought up, was it you, Aaron, that brought up lower thirds?
Yeah, it's not the top priority, but it's one of those things that it would be good to know how to do.
Oh, okay. Because what I did was I threw one in. I created one while I was waiting.
Yep.
So here's what I got, and then that self times and then pulls itself out. So is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I
sure,
think
sure.
so. Yeah,
Okay.
That's exactly what we're saying. So
All right,
if
cool.
it's like scripture and message or something, so
Yeah.
even for the stream maybe, but even then that's a very simple thing because you can pull that from the bulletin,
Right.
Scripture reference and sermon title,
Right.
or
Well, now
or even just the name of the anthem. or something like that could be clicked up, right? So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
super low maintenance.
Right, something
Okay,
that doesn't, something that can be a template that we can open, therefore there's some consistency on a weekly basis, and we can just type in what it is
Here's the thing,
relatively
I'll be
quick.
honest with you, I just had no idea how it worked.
Right,
I had no idea how you would even do it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all I'm talking
Well,
about.
what
Right.
we can,
How would you
Exactly,
even
right.
set it
what
up?
we can
Exactly.
do is we can create a list of CGs, lower thirds, like
Okay.
you and whoever else you
Yeah.
want up there. And then if you want like a, it all depends how in-depth you want to get with this, because it can get really, for lack of a better phrase, sexy looking.
Yeah.
Like when you go to your scripture reading, you can have the Bible fly in, open up, and the scripture's written
Yeah.
in there.
I don't
No,
find that,
no.
find that sexy.
no,
Okay.
neither do I, no. How about just
And
like,
I'm a very open-minded gentleman. But
That doesn't work for
That
you.
doesn't-
Okay.
see,
it's not
for
my
me,
thing.
I see something more like when pastors reading the scripture on one half of the screen,
Okay.
and then maybe having the text on the other half, picture in picture. I don't know what that looks
Could
like,
be.
sounds like, but at least
Okay.
paragraph at chunk,
Yeah.
not and just it's up. You finish, it goes down. We transition to a wider shot or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Len, here's what I'm going to say. On
Sure.
a scale of, you said how in depth do we want to go? Scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to aim for somewhere around 3.
3.
Was my number
Yeah.
that I had.
Okay, cool. We can do that. All right. Well, let's start off with the from scratch.
Okay.
So we'll just bump out of this.
Bill, you recording?
Yes,
All
for
right.
Mark.
I was going to suggest the same thing
All right.
for our future reference and for Mark. All right.
Okay, so let's just say that we're going to start now. If you just click on this down here, and you're at the latest version, I updated all of this stuff.
Thank you.
Here is all. This is a blank screen. This is a blank program now. Okay. So what we're going to do is the first thing. Let's put our cameras in.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go here to input. Going to go up to camera. Bring the menu down. Camera capture HDMI. Now, since we're not using the same audio, we're going to click this on none because we're adding a separate audio source that comes from there.
Okay.
We're not using.
We're not
The video
using
audio,
we're not
per se.
using the audio off the
Off the
cameras,
camera, exactly,
okay,
right.
or these controllers here.
So sometimes I just repeat stuff to make sure I'm understanding
Right.
it the
Okay.
right way.
Now,
But, yeah.
do we want to stay now? Okay, we have an option of 60 frames or 30 frames per second. So that's which do you want to go with?
Advantages and disadvantages for each.
30 frames uploads nicer to YouTube,
Okay.
faster to YouTube. 60 frames gets you kind of bogged down a little bit. It's the same HD. It doesn't matter, but you just have a faster upload and you stream easier with 30 frames.
Then let's go there because
Okay, we're going to go with 30 frames. Okay.
we're not shooting movie quality and projecting.
No,
on
okay.
Anything. So.
All right, so now that we have this set up, this is our very first input. Our input's going to be on default because we don't need to change that. And the same thing with video format. So we click OK, and our input shows up here on number 1. Okay?
Okay.
All right, now if we want to change this, now here's the thing that I recommend. Uncheck all these boxes because you don't need these.
Okay.
Sharpen. Now what I usually do, and there's a reason why you pick the category tabs, is because you can actually isolate those. So I usually put the burgundy there, and then let's just call this cameras.
Camera
one.
This is both cameras? Or
These
is
are
this
both cameras coming
camera
off of
one?
this.
Right.
Okay. So this is your combined source coming off of the Roland.
Okay.
Okay, because as they're going to do, see, this is your combined source.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's the first input. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the second input, which is going to be our audio. So let's go to our audio input, and let's see what our options are here. Where is the audio? Is that going? That's going into this box, right?
Yeah, it's
Still?
the audio box, I believe.
That is the. Which one is that again? Audio box.
Third one down.
Third one?
Or, yeah, that one. The one above it, I think.
Okay. So, now we have our audio in here. Okay, we go here. We need to uncheck this. I usually assign this light to the blue. Don't need to hit sharpen. And then we'll just call this audio. All right, so we have the beginnings of our servicer right here, camera and audio, okay? Since I don't need this up, let's just, and we'll leave this here. And now we add whatever we want to add beyond this point. Now keep in mind that when we went here to the input to get the camera, we went to camera. This automatically opens by default on video. So if we're going to go here, we're going to browse and let's bring in our one of our screens. Supported, wait a minute, where are we at here? Oh, yeah, we're in video. I'm sorry.
I don't think we have any videos there.
Okay,
We just have
image.
images. Yep.
Image. Okay, so then let's go to our logos here. And let's bring them in. We'll bring this one in. Okay.
So this is where we would add
Here you
new
go.
images, new JPEGs that we would want.
Yeah, you just bring them in image. Okay, so again, and this is just proper maintenance after it's in. Hit sharpen. For full screen imagery, I put it into the green, and then you can uncheck all this because nothing's rolling in.
Okay.
And then we'll just leave this as is. Title. Okay, so now we have this, and so you can fade in between. But we also have on here too. And I'll show you how to do the Stream Deck because that's done through shortcuts.
Okay.
Okay? So let's say that we have all this great stuff here now, and you've got a bunch of other things. And now we're going to use this thing here, which we're going to go up to settings. And we're going to go into shortcuts. Let's just clear these out. Yeah, okay, we're going to add we'll put new shortcuts in here. Okay, so we're going to add, now, we want to add the first thing that's going to be up here are the cameras. So you hit find, push and, okay, see now this is not seeing the Stream Deck. So let me go down here and I've got to get to the MDI settings. And why don't we have the Stream Deck in here? Okay, channel mapping, set is lit up. Oops. Hang on a minute. Let me see. Okay. So the Stream Deck this is not seeing the Stream Deck. Let's go back to shortcuts and find out why. We should not have that, and we should. What we may have to do is just replug in the Stream Deck to get it to recognize it. This is only seeing the audio box for some reason. Okay. So once, let's see.
I don't think we have to worry too much about that at this point.
Okay. All right, so the Stream, the Stream. But anyway, you can set
because
the Stream Deck up.
sometimes it recognizes, sometimes it does. We tend to close out or restart, and then it gets it the second.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's happened before.
Oh, okay. All right. So
It's been a while, but yeah.
not playing nice in the sandbox with the other kids.
Not
Okay.
always.
All right.
Right.
All right. So now we have the main inputs for everything, and all you have to do now. I'm going to bring that lower third in. So let's go back to our. So again, image, and then I'm going to hit browse. Let's get rid of this. So we're going to get all brand new stuff in here. Okay, and then I put this on the desktop, so we go to the desktop, and I bring in the Aaron CG. Now I have it here, but here's what happens. I'm gonna just take the lower third here, but it's not the right size.
Okay.
That's not gonna do it for me. So the one thing I want to do is I go into the settings menu, the gear, and then I'm going to go to position. So here is my lower third, and I want it a little bigger. So let's just open her. First of all, let's bring it up here. Let's say that's about right, and then just drop it down here. Now keep in mind, this is one that's been designed. All right, so there's your Pastor James logo, or lower third. Now, if you want to create them in here, you do have a title designer here, the GT title designer. That's in the hamburger menu. You also have in here title. Here's a bunch of lower thirds that are already put in here that you can just use if you want. And there's a ton of them in here.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, this will be better for you because I went through a design process.
Right.
And I don't think you guys want to go through that.
Well,
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Not in the next 10
Okay.
minutes, yeah.
Right.
So let's just say that we bring in okay, let's look at this one here. Okay, so our headline. Oops. Okay, so Pastor Aaron James. Now, if you bring this up, you notice it's already there. So now what we're going to do is we don't need a description. And now, to edit this, you don't go to the gear, you right-click and you go to Title Editor. Okay.
If you go to images, that's where you can add an image
Well, that's where you would add your title.
next to the text. No, right here.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, so go back to this.
Oh, okay.
Title editor. So you'd edit description here, and you'd add an image on the left here, right?
Correct. So we're
So
going
you
to get
take
rid of
out
this because we
description.
don't need this.
Yep.
Okay, we don't need this. You know, we already have that. So we're going to take the image, and now what
And that's
we
where we put in a
do
logo.
is we
Yeah.
want to browse, and I think I got it here.
Sure.
And,
Window works. Yep.
Yeah,
that's a
wait,
good one.
hang on. Where did I put that other one?
The circle one you did?
Yeah, I don't remember where I stuck that. And I had that somewhere. All right, let's just go here. Let's just say that we're going to use this. Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. So boom. And we just have to find something that, and then we can also bring this down. And
Right, cut out.
But
Yeah.
that's where we go with that. So
Pretty much.
tell me why this. I don't know this. Why are you clicking the 2 underneath it?
Because that's the overlay.
Okay.
Okay. See,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know about
okay,
that.
here's overlay. Now you have 4 overlays. You can put 4 things up at one time if you'd like.
Got it.
Now usually what we have at our church is we have a corner bug, which is all right. So
The
that
little logo in the corner
it-
that lets you know
it's
when you're
up
watching
here
it
and it just sticks there and that's it.
forever. Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest of them that we have our lower thirds are on. Here's the count for this so that you understand. Okay, if we go to overlay 2, you'll see I have this set up milliseconds. This is 6 seconds, and then I have 15 frames, 1500 frames millisecond in when it comes in. Okay. And you can change that any way you want. If you want it to come in faster,
Faster,
then
low
just put
number.
500 in here and click OK. So now it's going to pretty much fly in.
Yeah.
See, yeah, faster.
Yep.
And then you can cut this. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering if we can MacGyver that while it's in here.
Well,
What's up? Yeah.
I just want to process this through. So,
Sure.
You've got different settings for different layers. So when you're clicking the 2, it's because you're saying you want this to come in as the second layer with second layer settings.
Correct.
If you did this with the 1, it would come on with a different set of settings.
And
Okay,
would it be a
if you-
different picture?
If you come in with, go ahead, click 1. All right, now what'll happen is because one is set at 0 length,
Yeah.
0 duration, this will stay up here all the time.
That's what I'm saying. It'll come in under the settings for the first layer.
Right.
For that
So-
first layer.
so if you want it- if
you
you
want
wanted
this
to-
image at second. Basically, you want this
Right, 'cause
image at the second layer settings.
Correct, because I have
Right.
that set up to come in,
Exactly.
stay up here for 6 seconds and go off.
That's what I'm saying. But
That's-
we're
But
following.
it's,
Pretty much
these
it.
are
Yeah.
a bunch of organized settings for you wanting to do different things.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
your one is going to come in like this, or 2 like this, 3 like this.
See,
so
now-
you want to know which. So when you're setting something up,
Right.
it is which one it's intended
Right,
to be.
so
this
if
is
I-
a 2 type image.
If I go to number 1 now,
I got you.
I've got a fade in,
Yep.
and it's coming in at basically a half second. Because the duration is set at 0, it's going to stay up on the screen all the time.
So it's 0 to disable. So
Yes.
that, right. So that means it's
Right.
not going to stop.
So correct. It's not. This will go away because I've got it set for 6 seconds. So as soon
Right.
as it's done thinking, then it leaves.
Yep.
If I brought it up here,
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
never going to go away.
Right.
Until,
right.
Because of the settings
until you
underwater.
turn it off.
Yep. I got
And
it.
turn off, we'll get rid of it. Let's say we go, oops, this was supposed to be a 2. We did a 1.
There you go.
Click it again. And
click it
this
again
goes
and
in.
takes it off.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
So since we're not going to go with custom, let's get rid of this, and now we have this one here. So this will give you a whole bevy of things that you. And again, you come here and hit title.
Oops, hold on a second. Do that again because
Okay.
my video wasn't
All right.
videoing. There you
To get one of these, you go to Add Input,
go. Okay.
hit Title, and here. I mean, this goes on and on and on. And on and on and on and on and on. And then if you go to VMix, you can add other ones. You can also create custom titles. You can drag these into the GT titler and you can mess with them and change the colors and all that other good stuff. So.
Got
Oh,
it.
it
But
sounds
there's
like
some ones that are pretty simple in there.
Yeah.
We could,
Yeah.
there's some
Oh,
decent
you know what?
templates.
I don't know anybody that has. Oh, we'll use this one, and,
Right.
and they stick with it forever.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something simple, something easy,
Right.
something not
I
too.
just picked something that doesn't look obtrusive and
Right.
it
something that looks
works.
churchy. Okay. Yeah.
And it's got some animation to it too, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason here now, let me show you the reason why it came in the way it did. Because here, watch, it flies in
Yes.
from this
corner up. Yeah.
There's a reason for that, and I'll show you when we're going to go here. I have number 2 set at cross zoom. This is your effect
Effects
to get
coming
it in.
right.
Yep.
So now if I just have fade,
Yep.
click OK.
As usual.
See, it'll just fade in. The animation is coming from the title itself.
You would change that on one. Anyway, yes, no, I got you. Yep.
Okay.
So that's how you
So
change the
all I
overlay
did,
settings.
all I did with this
Yep.
was I changed this to fade.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can have it come in a cube.
Yeah. Some really ugly stuff.
Really
okay.
weird.
Yep. Now we're into PowerPoint effects.
And yeah.
See?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and
Now you're getting
The
into
middle schoolers would love it, but yes, please
Exactly.
don't.
exactly. So these are just options that come in the overlay that you can mess around with. People get in here and then all of a sudden it's like the old video toaster. They find all the weird wanky transitions.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
like, oh, look at this. It's
Star
like that.
wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Any
makes a lot
other
of sense.
questions on that?
Nope. We can. Bill, I don't know about you, Dick. I don't know about you, but we can.
Play with this on our own.
Yeah, we know where to
This
go
is
with
enough
that.
and enough background to
Right,
move on.
because what we did was we set up a basic from scratch.
Right.
That's all. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you're gonna, what'll happen with these things here, and I find this can be pretty obnoxious. Now, it didn't do this here, but sometimes when you bring in something like this. I'm sorry, if you bring in a video and it has no audio on it,
Okay.
it'll automatically add a track here.
Oh, okay.
And even there's nothing there. So you're going,
What's
wait,
going on?
what?
Yeah.
So you can go into the gear down here and you can turn off in the audio track. You can say that it doesn't have any audio.
Okay.
So that you're not getting an additional audio track.
Okay.
So that's basically how this is set up. It's very simple. And then once you're done with this, what you're going to do is you're going to save it as, and let's put
And
template.
just do a training testing or something.
Yeah.
So as not to be.
Okay, so
Confusing.
that's it. And now we have now all this is ready to go. And it's that easy.
Good. I have any,
Sure.
okay.
What do you need?
Let's say we decide, this may be a 6 months down the road, maybe a Dan question, but he has an additional computer that one of the things that happens is if we have PowerPoint, we run it from the computer as PC5,
As an aux input into the cameras, right?
okay?
All right, so you're here.
Correct.
Okay.
So one of the things that happens is we have to minimize VMix, open up PowerPoint, and we no longer see any of the VMix. So if the stream goes down or the recording goes down, we don't know that or wouldn't be aware of that until we exited our PowerPoint because,
But don't you see the PowerPoint here?
yeah, we see the PowerPoint here, but we wouldn't know that the stream for some reason crashed. Let's say
Because you don't have a way of monitoring.
we don't have a way of monitoring because we don't see it on this particular screen. We have to minimize VMix, open up PowerPoint, and the PowerPoint takes over the entire monitor, and that's what gets shown in the PC5.
Which also then, when that's the program input, is also what's streamed, which is one a funky thing about our setup is that that's how we don't project a lot, because if we project, our projectors are set up through this. So to project something, we have to make it the program on here, which also then means it's what's getting streamed.
I see.
Which is, so we can't just show something in the sanctuary
right,
without it
yeah,
being what's
That's
live
Taking
streamed.
over.
that's a matrix thing. That's then you
Right.
just have to switch your outputs to where they need to go.
Well, and that's for
Okay.
some reason when sound planning set us up, I don't know how to explain it, but it
Right.
was explained to me that that's kind of the only way that's the way it had to fit together. For me.
Okay, so your PowerPoint operator sits where?
Right where you are because it's me and it's taking care of VMix and
But you
PowerPoint.
can't, because this is a preview.
Correct.
So you can't run your PowerPoint off of this preview input?
We do.
Okay, so you don't need to have a full screen here.
Well,
You're running a laptop for that?
no, we're running this. See, what I do
Oh,
is
it's
I put,
on here.
It's on here
Oh, I
because
see.
we don't have
Oh,
any other
okay.
computer or access. See, part of my question is there a way to connect a laptop into
Sure.
all of this
Oh, yeah.
that would make it? But it's my laptop, and I'll come and go. So, is
Yeah,
there a
'cause having it on this system is really not a good idea.
okay? And that's what we thought,
Right.
but that's the only
Yeah.
thing we can do.
Right. So basically, take your PowerPoint, bring it in on a laptop, and we'll just hook the laptop into the main system, and we're good.
Show us how to
Yeah, I
do
was gonna
that.
say, I don't know exactly what that means. I get the concept, but
Right, I get the concept
where
too,
would
but
we plug it in?
where are we
All right,
plugging
well,
and going
okay,
to?
Well, here's the other thing too. Take your HDMI out of your computer and plug it in back here
Okay,
in your HDMI input.
okay.
Okay, and then when you hit play on your PowerPoint will come up full screen. So I think, what do you got here? You got, okay, this is all right. One, two. Okay, so this is your existing PowerPoint is in 5.
Right.
Okay.
Or correct, or anything we show here. Okay.
Right. So now you might as well just bring your laptop and plug it into 6. So then your PowerPoint will be on number 6.
Okay.
And that'll work just fine.
Now, the HDMI will take the audio and visual.
Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely will.
Because when I tried that over the summer, I was
Oh.
able to get, when I plugged in, I think I was able to see video, but I didn't get audio.
All right, so you're running videos off of that too as well, correct?
Well, there's music in the background of the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's embedded in the PowerPoint itself. And it might have been like,
well then,
it may have also been, I wasn't aware of what the board settings were. So
Okay.
it may have been that too.
for controllability, then I would definitely get a separate audio feed to the board
Right, I agree.
coming out of your speaker output.
Okay.
And then get that to the board so that the board, they can control that individually. Because otherwise, then you've got too much stuff out of control at this end, which is you're running the PowerPoint and then you're going, well, I gotta, no, just
Right, exactly. That's
have them ride herd over there.
okay. And what would the easiest way to be to attach a laptop into the soundboard?
Well, you take your output.
Yeah.
If you have a speaker output,
Yeah, the headphone jack.
headphone jack, just run it
You
over there.
plug it in where?
On the back, wherever
there's
they
an
have
open
input,
channel.
yeah, wherever they have an open channel. Do you have a patch bay back there? Or, I mean,
We have no open channels to my knowledge.
you have this big board and no open channel.
We are busy here. You talk about tech. We are on top of it.
27,000 piece orchestra.
No, and the answer is they're all dedicated. We could unplug some. That we're not all using them all, but they're all plugged in here because it's all of our different inputs that we have up there, right? We have all the different channels and ports and plugins up on the chancel, is my understanding. So
Okay.
all the ports are occupied. Now,
Oh, you just
we're
unplug
not
one.
using number 33 or
Right,
35.
you
We
just
just
pull it out
unplug
back here and
I'm
plug.
just making sure we're talking about the same
Yeah,
thing.
just take
Even though
take
it's
an
not a-
unused and just plug it in, and then put your
You're
laptop
right.
in there.
Yeah.
That makes all
What are
the
the, what are
sense
the
in the world.
inputs, Aaron? Do you know?
Well, all
XLR.
those speakers-
No, I meant what type of
XLR.
input.
Yeah,
It is
XLR.
XLR. So
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is converting
Okay.
from
Yeah, you're
that to
gonna
that
need
to
an
that.
adapter
Yeah.
kind
Which
of-
I may
You're
have.
gonna, you're
which
gonna
I may
need,
have.
You're gonna need to knock that down because that's a speaker output, and you're gonna have to take it down
To mic
a mic input.
level.
Yeah, mic
Yeah.
level. Right. Correct. But that will be that's the best way to do that. So you're
Okay,
not,
right. I agree
Yeah.
that you want to have
Right.
control of sound
Correct.
all with the sound person.
Correct. So even
Yeah.
though you've got a feed coming in, you'll have an audio feed coming in technically on number 6 here, and it can be brought up on your audio in here. Don't mess with that and just run
No.
a separate line, and you'll be just fine.
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna obviously we're gonna continue to. That was a good for training purposes to build up a new setting from scratch. VMix
Right.
preset from scratch. We're gonna go back to our worship one because that's where we also have like the delays set in and all the rest of it set, so that we.
Could you go through some of those? Are those settings universal or are they specifically? Well, let's say, for example, we have this worship test
Okay.
or a training test setting for VMix.
Right.
Are the audio settings and delays and all of those pieces already there?
Well, when you say you have a delay, what is the delay for?
We have to see where the delay is at right now. They're what? Actually, I don't even know. If
Talking
we still
about
have
a
the delay.
sync problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. All right.
Right.
So basically, let's see. Let me go. into
Which
the
I
other
don't
one.
know that we have it anymore.
We do. I think
do
it's
we?
like
Yeah.
0.8.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
But if we're going to go and have to open up the new user of VA Booth, that setting doesn't exist. See, if we're trying to get off of Chris's sign
Right.
in, and go into AV Booth,
Right.
those settings do not exist under AV Booth. So one of the things Mark wanted to make sure is, okay, when we get into this new user, however we get there,
Yeah.
how do we make sure that all the delays and all of the other
Let's
pieces?
see what you have.
May I- Oh yeah, this is your.
Let's see what you have delay set. What you have your delay
Well,
set
this is.
983.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's for sync problem. Okay. Not different, but you're trying to match
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you would remember that this is a necessity to go across the board, so that if you're gonna go, okay, let's get out of here now. Let's get out of here, and let's go into, where did we just put that other one? All right, so now what you're going to want to do is come into here and 983, and now that's all set in here.
Okay.
Okay, that's super simple to do.
So I'm going to zoom in a little bit,
Okay.
and I want you to open up and click on what you just clicked on, so I can,
Oh.
Mark can actually see it
Sure,
as well,
okay.
just to kind of get a good zoom in there.
What you're going to go to your gear,
Okay.
all right, and then go to audio settings, and your delay is right here.
Hey, Dan.
Okay, and that's how I found it on the other program.
Okay.
So then, so now that you know that if you're going to set anything up brand new using this
Configuration.
combined,
Yeah.
that you're going to need a 983 delay in there no matter what.
Okay.
Okay, and that'll keep everything in sync. It'll match up just the way you need it.
Yeah,
Great.
It's a.
So,
But I appreciate you coming. It's
so that's
one of
all
those
you
things
need to
that
do
can't
with
go
that.
super deep, and I'm
Yeah.
just glad.
Yeah.
You know, more of us that know more. Not everybody has to know everything. More of us that know more, the better.
Hi,
it is.
hi there.
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan. I'm Len.
How you doing?
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Len, I'm going to take off.
All right, sir.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
go.
Good to see you.
Thank you for being
very
part of
much.
this.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, so Dan,
I'm
you're
going
the
to let
man.
you guys take it from here. I'm just going to be in the office. I got to head out in about 20 minutes. But in that 20 minutes, if you have questions for me, let me
Okay.
know. Give me a
Now,
holler.
do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Good. All right.
And I'm moving away from being the one who knows how to do this stuff to having this team be the team that knows how to
Wonderful.
do this stuff. So I
Wonderful.
spent 3 years being too often the only one who knew how, and I'm not there anymore. So,
Okay. All right.
But because I was a part of it, if there's some stupid setting that you don't know about or some